What's up guys? Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions of the new Anastasia Beverly Hills holiday collection. So I have just about everything besides the Sugar Bear Glow Kit. I thought I got it, but I wound up not getting it. So I got the Prism Palette. I haven't dipped into this yet, so I haven't swatched it or anything of that nature. So this is going to be a true first impressions because I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. And also I have the Gradient and Radiant Blush Kits, these two bad boys right here. And then I have the little mini trio kit, the lipstick kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills as well. So we're gonna use all of those things inside of our makeup routine today. So if you guys want to see my first impression on this collection, then keep on watching. So as you can tell, I've already prepped my eyebrows and I've also primed my eyes and I've set them as well. It's just gonna take too long if I do my eyebrows on camera, so if you wanna see my eyebrow routine, then you can go ahead and look in the description box below and I will link that video in there. So I'm really just trying to figure out what colors I'm going to use. I've kind of looked at the color palette here and I have an idea in mind, so I'm really just gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna take the actual brush that comes in the palette and I'm gonna dip into this color right here called Spear. It's kind of this like neon green yellow in a way. And I'm gonna use that as like my transition color. So I'm just gonna take the fluffier side of the brush and I'm gonna dip into that bad boy. And I'm just gonna put that in my crease. All right, so I've zoomed you guys in just a little bit, that way you guys can get a closer view. So I'm just taking that color and I'm slowly building it up and then I'm kind of just blowing it out. So once I put it in that crease and I get a majority of the color off of the brush, I'm going to still kind of tap off that excess and then I'm just gonna blow it out. So I'm going to bring that up almost to my brow bone there. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna go for a little bit of like a smoky eye, but what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna lay down a black base and I'm gonna use the NYX Jumbo Crayon in Black Bean and I'm gonna use that literally just on my lid and put it down just so it's easier to kind of blend out the black, and then whatever color that I put on top of the black, it makes it stand out just a little bit more. So now I'm gonna use the other side of the brush, the more flat side, and I'm gonna take this color Obsidian right here. It's just a regular black shade. And I'm going to pack that on top of that black crayon that we put on as a base. Okay, so once I've initially put that color down on there, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of a smaller blending brush. This one is by Makeup Geek and it is called the Defined Crease Brush. I'm gonna take just a little tiny bit of that black eyeshadow again, Obsidian, and I'm barely gonna dip my eyeshadow brush into there. And I'm just gonna take that very lightly onto the crease and blow that color out and make it nice and smoky. All right, so I've blown that color out now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill in my lash line, that way there's not any bare spots. And I'm gonna take this Wet n Wild crayon pencil. It's just a regular black crayon pencil. And it's very pointy and it's long, so it makes it easier to fill that in. So I am just gonna take it on that top waterline and I'm gonna fill that in and make sure to get in between those eyelashes too, that way you can fill in any of those bare spots. All right, so you can see that it makes a pretty big difference whenever you fill in your waterline. It makes it to where there's not any of those bare spots, especially in between your lashes. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pack another color onto my lid. And I'm thinking about doing this shade right here called Throne. This one right here. Because of the fact that it has like little tiny lime green reflex in it, so I feel like it'll match that color Sphere pretty well. So I'm gonna take this flat brush by Wet n Wild and I'm going to just pack that color Throne on there, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it and then I'm gonna wet the brush. Oh, make sure I don't knock over everything. I'm gonna wet the brush, that way I can really get that color payoff that I want. So let's hope that this works. Yeah, that's actually really pretty. I like that. It's giving me galaxy vibes. That color Throne is absolutely gorgeous. This just blended seamlessly with the rest of the look. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to clean up the outer edges of my eyeshadow. I do this all the time. You guys can skip this step if you want to make it look just a little bit more grungy. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna put on my base. So I'm gonna put on my primer and my foundation and all that stuff, and then I will be right back. All right, so I have my base down and I put some translucent powder on. This is the Kat Von D Lock-It translucent powder. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take this duo fiber blending brush. It's the E41 by Sigma. Looks like this. It's a little tiny like fine point blending brush. And I'm gonna take that same lime green color sphere and I'm going to put that on the lower lash line. And I have this translucent powder here to catch any fallout that may fall onto my face. And since this color is pretty light, I'm just gonna like kind of pack it on there in a way, not so much do like the swiping motions until the very end, until I blend it all together. So I'm just gonna make sure I get it all nice and blended out. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that same eyeliner that I used earlier and I'm going to put that on my lower waterline. And when I do that, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the top waterline, and I'm gonna make sure that I get it in between my lashes so there's no bare spots. And then afterwards, we're gonna go ahead and take that black eyeshadow again and blend it all out and blend it up into the little like cut that you see right here with the eyeshadow. All right, so I'm gonna wipe away this translucent powder. I'm going to put some mascara and lashes on, and then I will be right back. All right, I've got the lashes on and I'm ready to go. These lashes are the style Leo by Black Moon Cosmetics, if you guys are wondering. All right, this is what I'm really excited for. So these bad boys were sold out, if I remember correctly, but I managed to get them on the ABH website. So I live in South Korea, but I get stuff shipped APO because I am in the military. And these guys got here within maybe like a week. I paid for the 2 to 3 day shipping, but because of the fact that I do live overseas, it takes just a little bit longer, but it did get here faster than other things usually do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Gradient kit, and so this kit can be used as a blush kit. However, I'm going to use it as a contour. So I think what I'm gonna do, since this is kind of like a cool tone look in a way, is I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's kind of like a green shade in a way, and I have swatched these before, but I haven't used them on my face like I said earlier. And I'm gonna take just a little contour brush, and these look pretty pigmented, so I'm not gonna take too much on there. I'm just gonna use that to contour my face. Oh yeah, okay, these are really pretty. So because of the fact that I want to keep this more cool tone than warm tone because of the eye look, I'm gonna take this same color that I have been using, and I'm gonna use that just as a contour, and I'm not going to put anything on my face to actually like warm it up. So I'm not gonna put any bronzer on my face, just contour, because of the fact, like I said, I want to keep it more cool toned. Warming it up would kind of make my face just look a little bit off. All right, so I'm gonna take just a little bit of that same translucent powder by Kat Von D Beauty, and I'm gonna use my beauty blender to kind of just cut my cheekbones a little bit. I usually do this. Now, you don't necessarily have to. I like to make it to where it's just a little bit more sharp. It kind of gives me a little bit more of a slimming effect. when it comes to contouring. So I'm gonna brush away that powder. And I actually don't think that I'm gonna use the Radiant Blush Kit because of the fact that the colors that are in there are pretty warm toned. Here, I'll show you. So a lot of them are, you know, your peachy, pinky nudes in a way. So what I'm gonna do instead of using those this time is I'm gonna use this purple shade right here. It's really calling me, so I'm hoping that this works out well. I'm just gonna use that as blush, but I'm gonna take very little because I don't want it to look all crazy on my face. All right, so now I'm gonna highlight, and I wanted to take the Aurora palette because I just got this palette and I didn't manage to get the Sugar Bear highlighting kit. So I was gonna take this palette right here. However, this shade right here called Luna, I believe? No, Hella. So this one's called Hella right here. I was gonna take that shade, but then I realized that this shade in the Prism palette called Lucid right here, it's kind of like a light green. Those two are, I'm pretty sure, the same color. So I'm gonna use a little pencil brush, looks like this, and I'm going to take that shade Lucid, and I'm gonna put that on my inner corner. So the reason why I chose this shade is because of the fact that it kind of has like a green hue to it in a way. So I feel like it would match this eye look. All right, so now I'm gonna highlight my face, and I'm gonna go in with that shade Hella from the Aurora palette. And I'm gonna take that with this highlighting brush. It is the High Cheekbone Highlighter from Sigma, the F03. And I'm gonna take that on the highest part of my cheeks. I'm not gonna take too much because this is kind of like a green toned highlighter. So I don't want it to just be like green on my face. So I'm gonna diffuse it just a little bit. Take that right there, and then take whatever's left on the brush, just kind of blend that out a little bit. So now I need to go in with lip color, and I'm just trying to find out which one from the bunch is gonna be the best color. And I'm kind of thinking like the light one because of the fact that these two kind of have like a little bit of like a peachy undertone to it. So I'm gonna take this one, and this one is called Hudson. Looks like that, and I'm going to put that on my lips. All right, so now it is time to set my face, and then I will show you guys the finished look. All right, guys, so this is the finished look. I think that I'm really going to like this palette. So it has a lot of, in a way, jewel tones, but there are some warm tones in there. I think that it has a good mixture of like transition colors, you know, metallics, your shimmers, and also your neutral shades. I think that a lot of people are probably going to get scared to buy the palette because of the fact that they feel like it's not cohesive. They feel like there's not a lot of shades that are gonna go together. But to me, it feels like this palette just needs you to step out of your box a little bit, step out of your comfort zone, which is hard for some people, especially if they're starting out in makeup. But I encourage you to not be too scared by it because there are a lot of pretty shades in this palette. And of course, you know, with any Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette, the quality is amazing and you're not gonna have too much of a hard time with it. I know that there was controversy with the Subculture palette, so take everything that I say with a grain of salt. Obviously, you're gonna have your own opinion, so I would suggest with any palette, not just this one, going in store in person and swatching it. If you can't, I just really suggest doing as much research as you can about the palette. As far as the blush kits go, I think that these blush kits are absolutely phenomenal. So each one of them is 30 bucks, and they're actually a lot smaller than I thought they were going to be, but they come with a lot of product, and honestly the product is so pigmented and it's so easy to blend, which is something that I personally look for in like a contour or a blush or even a bronzer. The lipstick so far feels pretty lightweight. They're matte, so obviously they're gonna be a little bit drying on your mouth, and it's gonna take some time for me to obviously figure out whether or not this is actually long wearing and how it works whenever you eat and drink and all of that good stuff. But right now it feels pretty light. I know compared to some lipsticks you can actually like feel it. Like if you're going like this, they're kind of sticky and they kind of break apart on your lips. But right now, I'm not having that problem too much. I would obviously have to wear the lipstick for a longer period of time. However, I do think that the color selection is very pretty. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please, before you leave, make sure to subscribe. Also like and comment if you guys want to. Check out my Instagram. Again, that's at Jennymmua, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.